All right, so how many subscriptions do you think you're paying for right now? Really think about it.
Hmm.
Bet it's more than you realize. It's not just Netflix and Spotify anymore.
Right. It seems like everything wants a monthly payment now.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of crazy. Like, my car even wants a subscription for navigation. A subscription for navigation.
It's wild, isn't it?
Oh, and my friend. Her new coffee maker, super fancy, but guess what? It's practically useless unless she signs up for their coffee bean subscription.
It really is incredible how much the subscription model has grown. I mean, it's not just for things we used to think of as services anymore.
Nope, not at all. And you know what's even more interesting? This whole subscription explosion, it's happening right alongside another sneaky trend, built-in obsolescence.
Ah, yes. Planned obsolescence.
So for our listeners, what exactly is built-in obsolescence?
Well, it's basically the idea that products are designed to break down or become outdated way faster than they
So
should.
you're forced to replace them more often.
Yeah, exactly. Like when your phone battery dies right after your warranty runs out, or your printer just decides it needs a new ink cartridge that costs a fortune.
Ugh, yes. Or like those clothes that fall apart after a couple washes.
Exactly. It's like they're designed to be disposable. And this whole thing, the shortening of product lifespans, it creates this crazy cycle of buying, tossing, and buying again.
Which obviously isn't great for our wallets or the environment.
Definitely not.
This topic's kind of hitting close to home for me because I had this major subscription fail back in college.
Story time. I love a good story.
Okay, so picture this. Freshman year, totally broke, obviously. And I see this ad for this amazing productivity app, right? Free trial, they say. Get organized, they promise. It was like they knew my life was a chaotic mess.
The siren call of the free trial.
Oh, they got me good. So fast forward a few weeks, and I totally forgot about the app. Then bam, I see this charge on my bank statement for like 15 bucks.
Ouch.
The free trial ended, and I'm automatically signed up for a monthly subscription.
Yeah, those sneaky automatic renewals get you every
And
time.
it gets worse. That's when I realized I'd done the same thing with like a bunch of other stuff. A gym I never went to,
Mm.
music streaming I barely used, even a subscription for fancy snacks that just ended up like stale in my dorm room.
Oh no. The snack subscription graveyard. We've all been there.
It was bad. By the end of the semester, my bank account was begging for mercy. It was a brutal lesson in being more aware of those recurring charges.
We all learn it eventually, right? Those small amounts really trick you because they seem so insignificant at the time.
Oh, yeah. But they add up. And it's not even just about the money. I started feeling like I was just renting everything, not actually owning anything.
That's a great point. It's like we're trading ownership for convenience.
Yeah,
And honestly, I'm not sure it's a good deal.
right. Like, it feels like a system designed to keep us on this treadmill of buying more stuff, always chasing the next upgrade.
And that treadmill, well, it's powered by built-in obsolescence, like a one-two punch to our wallets and the planet.
Okay, so how does this built-in obsolescence thing actually work? What are some of the things companies do to make sure their products don't last?
Well, sometimes it's as simple as using cheaper materials, stuff that breaks down quicker, or designing things with parts that are impossible to repair or replace.
Oh, yeah, like when you need a special screwdriver just to open your electronics.
Exactly. Or how your phone gets slower after every software update.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's like they're intentionally making older models obsolete, right?
That's a common theory, and honestly, there's some evidence to suggest it's true. Those updates might be slowing things down on purpose, nudging you toward that shiny new upgrade.
Wow. So it's the physical design of the products, the software, and then there's also the whole psychology of it,
Ooh.
right? Like how companies use advertising to make us crave the newest thing, even when what we have works perfectly fine.
Oh, absolutely. That fear of missing out, the feeling you need the latest gadget, that's all carefully crafted marketing. It's powerful stuff.
And exhausting. Honestly, I think a lot of people are getting tired of it. This whole subscription fatigue, constantly feeling pressured to upgrade and buy more.
I think you're right. There's definitely a growing awareness of these tactics, and people are starting to push back. They're looking for alternatives, wanting more durable products, and questioning this whole consumerist mindset.
That's good to hear. It feels like we're at this turning point where quality and durability are becoming more important than just having the latest and greatest.
I agree, and that shift in values, that's crucial if we want to break free from this cycle of endless consumption and build a more sustainable future. It's like we're waking up from this crazy consumer dream and realizing it's more like a nightmare.
Totally. So what can we actually do about it?
Yeah.
It's easy to just feel overwhelmed and give in.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. But the good news is we're not powerless. There are things we can do to change things, individually and collectively.
Okay, so what's step one? Where do we even begin?
Awareness, like how you realize those subscriptions were draining your account. We need to be more aware of what we're buying. Why are we buying it? Do we actually need it? Or is it just some clever marketing trick?
So basically, mindfulness for our shopping habits.
Exactly. And then we can be more intentional about what we choose to buy.
Yeah.
Instead of, those impulse buys or trendy things that fall apart, we can invest in things that last.
Like a good winter coat instead of
Mhm.
a bunch of cheap jackets that won't last a season.
Exactly. And it's not just clothes. Think about electronics, furniture, appliances. Do your research, look for brands that are known for quality and durability.
I love that. It's like flipping the script on built-in obsolescence. Instead of chasing the newest thing, we're looking for things that are built to last.
Yes. And when things do break, because let's face it, nothing lasts forever, we can fix them.
Oh, yeah. Repair. It's kind of lost art, but it's making a comeback.
It is, and it feels good. Fixing something yourself instead of throwing it away and buying a new one. It's usually cheaper, and it keeps things out of landfills.
I'm not really a DIY person, but I've been trying to repair things more. There are so many resources now, YouTube tutorials, online communities, even repair cafes where you can get help.
That's awesome. And even if you don't want to do the repairs yourself, you can still support the right to repair movement. Choose products from companies that make repairs easy and make parts available. It's about using your money to demand better from companies.
Okay, I love this. We're choosing durable products, embracing repair. We're becoming anti-consumerist ninjas. What else can we do?
Well, this might sound a little out there, but what if we moved beyond ownership altogether?
Wait, what? Okay, you have to explain that one.
What if instead of constantly buying new things, we shared more? Like libraries. You can access the resources you need without having to own them.
True, I love libraries.
Okay.
But how does that work for things besides books?
Lots of ways. Tool libraries are popping up everywhere. Borrow a drill or a lawnmower instead of buying one. Clothing swaps and rental services for special occasions. Community gardens. Shared workspaces.
So instead of buying a lawnmower that I use twice a year, I can just borrow one.
Amazing.
Exactly. It saves you money, reduces clutter, and builds community. It's a win-win-win.
I am so on board with this. It really ties into that shift in mindset we were talking about. Moving away from owning everything and towards a more collaborative approach.
Yeah. We don't have to own everything to use it. We can share resources, skills, and knowledge.
Right.
It's more sustainable, more equitable, and honestly, usually more fun, too.
Right. Imagine borrowing a dress for a wedding from a clothing swap and hearing the stories from the person who owned it before. It's not just a dress anymore. It's a connection, a story, a shared experience.
Exactly. It changes how we see material things.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful antidote to all the isolation and consumerism in our culture.
Okay, I am feeling really inspired. We went from feeling overwhelmed to feeling like we can actually make a difference.
That's what I like to hear. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making small changes one step at a time and supporting each other along the way. This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I've learned so much, and I'm excited to start putting some of these ideas into practice.
Me too. And you know what? There's even more to explore here. We talked about the practical steps, but there's a whole fascinating history behind these trends. The rise of consumerism, the origins of built-in obsolescence, the marketing tactics.
Oh, really? A secret history of companies making things break faster. I'm in up. Tell me more.
Well, it actually goes way back, like to the early 1900s. One of the most famous examples is the Phoebus Cartel, a group of light bulb manufacturers. They literally got together and agreed to make their light bulbs burn out faster to increase sales.
Wait, are you serious? They actually did that?
Yeah, they standardized the lifespan to around 1,000 hours, even though they could have made them last much longer.
Wow. Talk about putting profits before people and the planet.
It's a classic example, and it's happened in so many industries. Think about nylon stockings that snag easily, or cars designed to look outdated quickly. Companies have always found ways to manipulate us and get us to buy new things.
It's like a constant battle. Consumers want things that last, and companies want us to keep buying more.
Exactly, and in the digital age, it's gotten even more complicated. Software updates that slow down old devices, proprietary parts that make repairs impossible. The methods have changed, but the goal is the same. Keep us consuming.
So we've been fighting this battle against built-in obsolescence for over a century.
It can feel that way sometimes, but awareness is key. The more we understand these tactics, the better we can resist them.
True. But knowing isn't enough. We need to actually do something.
Right. And that's where all those strategies come in. Choosing durable products, repairing things, supporting right to repair, sharing instead of owning. We have the power to change things as consumers.
You know what? This whole conversation made me realize that built-in obsolescence isn't just bad for our wallets and the environment. It's bad for our souls, too.
That's an interesting thought. What do you mean?
When we're constantly buying and throwing things away, we lose sight of their value. We just want the newest thing. We forget to appreciate the beauty of things that last. We don't cherish the things we have.
I see what you mean. There's something special about owning something well made and well loved, something with a story. And repairing things makes us part of that story. We give the object a longer life and we connect with it more deeply.
It's like taking responsibility, not
Well,
just for our own things, but for the planet.
exactly. It's a shift away from disposability and towards a more sustainable way of life.
This has been such an amazing conversation. I feel like I have a whole new understanding of this issue.
Me too. I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to join the movement for a more conscious and sustainable future.
To all our listeners, thank you for joining us. We want to hear your thoughts and experiences with subscriptions and built-in obsolescence. How are you fighting back? What creative solutions have you found? Every choice we make has an impact. And together we can build a world where things last, where communities share, and where we find joy in the simple things.